what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Marriage, Money, and Mindset. We are your hosts. I'm Jared.
And I'm Alexis.
And we're back another week, episode 11. We are here for episode 11 today. Hey, appreciate y'all. Last episode on episode 10. Appreciate y'all that watched on revealing our stock portfolio. That was the last episode. And that was the conclusion of our stock series for the month of October in 2023. So if y'all haven't seen that entire series, please go back and watch it from A to Z. We talked about what is the stock market, how to create a brokerage, how to pick investments, how to exit, and then we revealed one of our portfolios, one of our strategies. So if y'all haven't tuned into that, go back, tune in. If you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, please subscribe, guys. We are creeping up to 200 subscribers.
Right.
So we appreciate the ones who have subscribed and also the ones who come back and, watch, tune back in for our content. So we appreciate y'all. Anything else you want to mention before I mention this?
Okay, so a couple weeks ago, we did an opportunity alert, and that was basically us giving the opportunity for one person to earn a share of Amazon. Or the value of one share of Amazon.
Right.
So we did get an earner.
Yeah.
And today we're going to talk a little bit.
Tukes.
Yes, Jaylaron Tukes on
Mr. Right a Lot.
On
Appreciate
Instagram.
you. Yes, sir.
So and today we're going to cover the new value, the current value of Amazon.
Well, that's just what this is right here. So guys, look, of course, before we get into today's episode, right? So we're going to be doing more of these opportunity alerts, right? Again, this is something that we want to do to give back. Now, let me explain real fast before I'm going to explain something else. An opportunity alert, guys, is basically, it's you having to do something in order to receive something, okay? So we're not doing giveaways. That's not what we do. We're giving people the opportunity to earn, preferably shares in companies that we invest in, okay? So,
or maybe some other things in the future.
But yeah, potentially, right? But in order to receive an opportunity, you have to take some form of action, right? So the action was very simple. Subscribe to the channel, share the video, comment. That's all you have to do. That's the action.
Right.
And, we're going to do more of these. It'll be probably mix of, I was thinking about maybe mixing up how we do comments for the future opportunity alerts. But just stay tuned, guys. Like I said, we're going to do more things. We just want to get back. That's our way of sharing with our subscribers, people that tune in. We want to, help. So, but anyway, so what this is real quick is we're going to start doing a marriage, money, and mindset portfolio. We're going to keep track of what shares we give away to not necessarily give away, what shares our subscribers earn, right? And just track the progress on the channel. So this is also an educational piece that we want to, incorporate with our YouTube channel, right? So guys, if you look, so Jaylaron Tukes, he earned one share of Amazon, and the value of that share that he received was $126, right? Well, if you look at the share of Amazon today, of course, if he purchased his share of Amazon with his 126, well, it's now currently worth $138.60, which equates to a 10% return.
Right.
Not bad, right? So this is also just to show you guys how, if you had your own portfolio, how it would. This is similar to what it would look like. But there are some other things it would show, like your cost basis, other categories that it usually shows. But the gist of what you look at most of the time is your company, how many shares you have, what you paid, and what the value of it is now. So that's in dollars and that's in percentage.
Yes.
So that's just to give you guys an example of how. Now this could have went south. It could have gone lower, but guess what? The next go around he purchases, he can lower his cost basis, right? Because now he can actually buy it at a discount. So that's all this represents. So we're gonna track it on the channel. So that's pretty much, so far the Marriage, Money, and Mindset portfolio has given
10% increase.
A 10% increase. Yeah, so that's what's up.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So that's that, right?
Yes.
So let's get into today's
How you doing today?
episode, man. I'm good. Just got off from working.
Your 9 to
You
5?
know what I'm saying? Yeah, the 9 to 5. Now we on the 5 to 9. Had a good day. Slow boogie. You know what I mean? So we home. Doing our thing. This quality time for us, by the way. So I always appreciate doing this, with my wife. So this is always a good time,
Yeah.
for us to do our thing and then just hang out. So
Me too.
yeah, man. What about you? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I had a good beginning of my day. I hung out with a couple friends from college. It's LU homecoming.
Oh, I don't know nothing about that, but
Okay.
okay. That's cool. That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, so let's get into it, right? So episode 11. Today's episode is about attracting a spouse. Attracting a spouse. I'm gonna move our portfolio. I got it. Yeah. So talk. So what's attracting a spouse? Talk about it. What's that?
Okay, so attracting a spouse. First, we want to think about our list that we all kind of come up with before we start in the dating world, like what things to look for in a significant other. So some people have like a lot of physical attributes on their list. And there's nothing wrong with that because everybody has their taste or their preference. But what things do you look for in a significant other?
Yeah, that's basically what today's subject is gonna, pertain to attracting. If you're in the market to attract a spouse,
Right.
okay. Again, guys, we don't know it all, but we know a little something. Our marriage now is going on to be 6 years next February.
Good job.
Yeah, man. Oh, I got it. 7 years total, 6 years married. So obviously we have some wisdom in this area, and of course attracting a spouse, again, like she mentioned, is something that, in my opinion, of course, you have to have some form of attraction before
Some form of physical attraction.
there is a physical attraction, but that isn't the end all be all.
Correct.
We're gonna dive into it.
Right.
We're gonna dive into it. Okay. So obviously we have some notes, guys. Today we want to touch on just 9 tips, if you would call, of what you should be doing or what you should look for when you're attempting to attract a spouse. Okay. So for starters, right, let's talk about self-improvement. Self-improvement, right? So you want to work on your self-confidence, self-esteem, and personal growth. So let's break all 3 of those down. Self-confidence.
Yes.
Okay.
First of all, I'm going
Yeah.
to say, if you don't have this first tip down, I don't think you have any business looking for a mate. Like you got to work on, you got to work on you first.
Want to write these as we talk or no?
No.
We'll probably just have them pop up, guys. We're not doing any work with the easel today. I apologize for cutting you off, but we're just gonna have y'all just gonna have to listen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
So your self-confidence, you want to have self-confidence. You don't want to look for somebody to tell you things that you should already know within yourself. So work on yourself first before you go looking for a spouse. You can't be broken trying to date somebody.
Okay. Now break down, I guess that goes with self-esteem as well, right?
Oh yeah, I think they all tie in together.
Time and personal growth. Yeah, I'll elaborate on those real quick too, just to give my opinion. Self-improvement is important, right? The confidence that you should have if you're in the market to look for a spouse. You have to be confident in yourself. You have to have some self-esteem. Personal growth.
Why is that funny?
Because I'm regurgitating this. It's hard to elaborate on these right now simply because there's other things that I feel like maybe we didn't put this in the correct order, but that's okay. It'll all come back full circle. Okay. But those things are important, right? So second tip, guys, being social. Be social. You want to engage in activities and events that align with your interests to meet potential partners. Touch on that.
Okay, so where are you going to look for a spouse? If you're looking for somebody in a certain caliber, you may not find them at the club or I mean, certain environments they're not going to be. So what type of person are you looking for? Maybe you should be in those type of environments.
Okay.
And be in environments that are going to help you as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. Yeah. I mean, you know, meeting people at certain functions that may not potentially be good quality spouse potential. Yeah, you know, like give some examples. What do you think is like you mentioned clubs? You don't think a
Yeah.
club is a good spot to meet a potential spouse? Like when you say club,
I
what type
mean,
of club are you referring to? Like a nightclub, strip club?
all of the above, I
Okay.
guess. But think about those
Yeah,
types of environments. It's usually loud.
I agree with that.
People are normally intoxicated, so you're not in your right mind.
Yeah,
Most of the time, you're half dressed.
yeah, okay,
So it's like, why you look me up and down?
yeah.
Huh?
When? Just now? Oh, I didn't do that. Oh,
Okay.
I don't think I did. I'll
Okay.
have to go back and watch the video and see what I did. I'm sorry. Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, common sense, guys. You know, I didn't meet my wife in the club. I met her in a spontaneous spot, Ford Park. You know, we talked about it on the first video. If y'all want to know how we met,
Or
go back and
Chick-fil-A.
watch that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can go back and watch that video if you want to know how we met. But
There's nothing
yeah.
wrong with meeting in a
Yeah,
club.
yeah.
However, just know that there are certain things that come with it. Like you gotta.
I mean, let's be honest. Most people in the club are looking for like a quick hookup,
Right.
hang out. I don't think people are going there to look for a spouse. They're not going to attract a spouse in the club. So, you know, but
That's
if you
what I mean.
are, I mean, it may not potentially be the best spot. That's all we're saying. Yeah. So let's keep it moving, man. Number 3, communication. So you want to develop good communication skills and be an active listener. This kind of go back to what we talked about with how do you know if you have the right partner? Communication. Yeah.
I mean, communication is the top thing.
Communication is key. You
Yeah.
know. Yeah, it's like the foundation. Somewhat one of the pieces to the foundation, like being able to have a great communication, a great
Rapport.
a great way of communicating with each other and actively listening to each other. I know with us, man, we talk like all the time.
I mean, think
Yeah.
back to our dating phases.
It was hardly ever like anything intervening with our interaction, like as far as like a television. We have it on, but we're not watching it. A movie will be on, we're not watching. We're talking, we're having real in-depth conversation. You
Yeah.
know,
That's what I was getting at,
Right.
the in-depth. Like we
Still
talked
do.
about the important things
Exactly.
in the beginning.
Right. You know, so that's definitely, a tip I would recommend if you're wanting to attract a spouse. Be a good communicator and also be a good active listener, right? Because you have to understand what your potential spouse is into, like listening to them. Ask very specific questions, by the way, things that you want to know about that individual. And of course, I'll also pay attention to their actions as well. What if their actions are aligning with what they're saying, right?
Right. The patterns.
That's important.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go to number 4. The 4th tip: be genuine. Be yourself, as authenticity is attractive. So obviously, you want to be genuine. Your genuine self when you're meeting people. Don't fake. Don't act like someone you're not. I don't feel like I've been the same since day one.
Well, I had
Right.
a question about that.
All right, talk
So
about
how
it.
much of yourself do you be in the very beginning? Because I know like the very beginning, I wasn't
yeah.
doing certain
You're gonna-
things
Okay.
around you. Like I was making sure to
Passing
present
gas. You
myself.
ain't passing gas yet?
No.
Well, okay. What I mean by yourself, right, is well, obviously you're gonna get a little bit more comfortable
Right.
as the relationship progresses, right? But what I mean is like, okay, have I changed up since we met?
Character wise, no.
No. I mean, I've been staying the same consistent person since day one. That's what I'm referring to. So out the gate, be yourself. Like, don't, because I feel like, that's gonna, your real self will eventually come. So,
Yes.
and the real you will eventually present itself at some
And
point.
you got to give the other person the opportunity to get to see the real you,
Yeah,
so that
yeah,
they can make the decision for themselves. Like, do I want to stay with this person or do I not?
Yeah.
Both people have to make that decision. And if you're just being an ingenuine person, then, I mean,
Yeah,
they're
you're
going to
just
fall
you
for the
fake.
wrong type of person.
Well, you're not being real. You're being fake. They're gonna see you for who you really are. And
But that's a waste of
yeah,
time.
and it's a
You want
waste
to
of
be
time.
genuine from the beginning.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so let's keep it moving. The fifth tip, if you are attempting to attract a spouse, is your appearance. So you have to take care of your physical health and appearance. This is a big one to me. So, I work out obviously for me because I do care about my fitness and health, right? However, I want to make sure I look good for my spouse because if she met me this way, right? Now, it's not to say that she would dislike me if I just let myself go. But again, guys, like I want to make sure the way I presented myself to her, I want to remain, at least attempt to remain on that same level because that's what back to
The physical attraction.
physical attraction, right?
Yeah.
That's what she was obviously physically attracted to in the beginning, right? Now that's not to say that's all you pay attention to because there's a lot of people that look good but don't have good intentions, right? So yeah, obviously the physical attraction is going to be what leads you to that individual, but I feel like you should look at more than just the physical attraction.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I mean, because if all you settle for is a cute face, slim waist, man, you don't really, your standards ain't that high to me, right? You have very low standards. I mean, and vice versa for the women. If all y'all want is a tall, dark, handsome guy, hey man, that's all you want. Yeah, I mean, you might get
that.
but that's all you get. And that's, I mean, if you settle with that, that's fine. To each his own. But you do want a guy who cares about, first of all, is going to care for the spouse, right? Like I care for her. That's why I do certain things. A lot of things I do is selfless for her, right? And vice versa. So she understands. Well, I'll let you speak. I spoke my piece. Let's hear what you got to say. I want to hear what you got to say on this appearance.
On appearance?
Yes, ma'am. Talk to me.
I agree. I mean, you want to keep yourself up. Not only for your spouse, but just health wise.
Yeah.
Like if you want to live a long, full life with that person, then you got to take care of your health. You got to pay attention to what you eat, which we could tighten up on sometimes. And then the fitness aspect, that's another form of quality time. Like if y'all work out together or be active together, go play a sport. But you want to look good for that person and you also want to look good for yourself.
Yeah. Before we move on, though, I just thought of something. Now, when we talk about appearance, what if the material appearance doesn't look up to par? Like, or the material appearance is kind of shabby.
And what do you mean by material?
What they're driving, how they're dressed, what shoes they're wearing, things of that nature. How do you feel about when you first meeting someone? Like if, for instance, if somebody approaches you, and it may just be a bad day. Maybe they caught you in a bad day. You get what I'm saying? Like,
well, you said driving and dressing and all that.
Material.
Yeah.
All the material things.
I mean, that can't be a bad day. That's just what
It
your
could
situation
be. Well,
is.
no, I'm saying like maybe you caught, like maybe he's, said, man, I'm gonna just run to the store real quick, and he didn't put on his best clothing or.
That's me most of the time. If people catch me at HEB, I'm usually not looking my best.
Okay, but I'm asking you a question. How do you feel about if hypothetically, if you're in the market, looking for a spouse, you meet someone and their physical attraction. I mean, like they look healthy. They look like they're fit. But maybe you seen them pull up in something that wasn't, it's kind of beat up a ride. And maybe he got out in some, it could be like a work car or whatever. And maybe he got out in his clothing, like some work clothes or, just something, just threw on something real quick. Cause he just was like, man, I'm just running to the store or whatever. I don't know, hypothetically, but.
Well, like you said in the beginning.
And he approaches you, right?
Yeah. I mean, like we said in the beginning.
Because you probably wouldn't approach him, but let's say if he approaches you.
Right.
in that scenario.
Physical is not always the number one thing. However, you are attracted to somebody first by what you see outwardly. So by the things that you mentioned, I may not I may not want to approach that person.
Okay.
But if I'm approached by them and they have like a good personality in that split second, or nice teeth, a nice smile,
Okay.
like a good personality, that may draw me in.
Yeah. I just mentioned that to say, look, I know, because a lot of times, man, I think people let material items affect how they would maybe consider speaking to someone, right? Shouldn't be that way, guys, because you never know. Like, you can't judge a book by its cover. You can't judge a book. You never know what the person has going on. But at the end of the day, even if they are in a situation that's not the best material-wise at that point in time, that doesn't define them.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I was getting at. Like, they made movies on stuff like this, right?
I mean, Warren Buffett. He's still like driving the same car.
Well, that's the story they always say about him, right? But there's plenty of like people that are wealthy, you know, as far as monetarily goes, but they don't. They're not. They're not like flashy and whatnot.
Right.
Again, some people will judge a book by its cover. They say, well, if he's not driving X, or he's XYZ, or he's not wearing XYZ, he can't get a day with me, right? That's some women, and vice versa. Some men be like that, like, nah, if she ain't, you know, rocking this, or she ain't, you know, whatever it may be, right? You shouldn't do that. That's what I'm saying. Based on appearance, I don't think material should play a role in that. We're talking about their physical and basically physical appearance, right? So this is something to think about. Look, guys, we're not experts, man. We just throwing out some tips that we feel are beneficial, okay? So again, I think these can help you if you're in the market for attracting a spouse, right? We're gonna keep it moving on. So number 6.
Number 6 is common interests.
Talk about it.
So what common interests do you guys have? Do you share things in common that you like to do?
Shared hobbies and interests with others to create connections.
That one is kind of self-explanatory.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I agree. You want to have some hobbies, and
that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be exactly the same. Because I don't.
Well, again, it goes back to like when you listening to your partner. Like, for instance, like when we met, you know, one thing I was into obviously was finance stuff. But I mean, let's talk about like an activity.
Right.
So,
like playing the game.
Well, like Top Golf. That's something that I enjoy doing, right? I'm not the best golf player out there, but I enjoy learning how to, you know, play golf and hit the ball a little bit better. So even though she may not be that interested in it, she'll still attend it with me. And, you know, but that's selfless, right? And vice versa. You know, something you're into that I may not 100% be into.
Like my shows. Married at First Sight. I make you watch it anyways.
I don't watch that show, dog. Why you said that, man? Come on, man. Chill out. We're talking about activities, not shows. We're gonna edit that. Nah, look, so activities, right?
Yeah.
Name an activity. Like, okay, like you're, man, it's something I know you do that I don't really care to do, but I still do it anyway, because it's still spending time with you, right? That's an you know, an example, right?
Right.
All right, guys. Y'all know what we saying on common interests. You should have common interests, right? Let's keep it moving, man. This topic. Number 7, kindness. You want to show empathy, respect, and kindness to others. That's self-explanatory. You want somebody kind, obviously, right? Somebody who, you know, is nice and cares about you and responds well, but not just to you, but to others as well. You know, that's one thing I will mention. Like, you know,
that goes with your character, how you treat other people. Yeah.
So we both obviously had a past before we met. You know, I'm not throwing any names, or we're not throwing any names of who we were with, but I can think of one in particular where how they responded to others that I didn't prefer. I didn't really care for, but that also gave me an idea of that person's character. So, you know, that's one thing to pay attention to as well. Yeah, you know, that's what I'm saying, like how they almost belittle people. That's not cool, right? So pay attention, guys, to how they treat not only you, but others, because that can be almost a reflection of who they really are, like back to being genuine. Maybe they're faking with you. You think they're the kindest, sweetest person, but their real self is snobby to other people, you know, or snappy. And that's their real self, right? So it's just something to think about, you know, how kind they are.
And we hit
how
on
they
this on
respect
another
people.
video as well,
Yeah.
as far as speaking to your spouse with kindness. I know it seems like a small thing, but you're kind to like a stranger on the street. So why wouldn't you speak to your spouse with kindness?
Yeah.
So
Number 8, we still on that, or we moving?
I guess we good. Go ahead.
This topic, man. No, I like it though. I like it. Number 8, compatibility. Compatibility. Seek partners with shared values and life goals. Okay. Yeah. Talk about it.
Okay, compatibility to me kind of ties into common interests.
Okay.
Like how compatible are you guys? Do you mesh well?
Yeah.
Do your personalities go together? And then do you share the same common goals?
Right.
The common interests, things like that.
Yeah. Goals need to align. We were just discussing this earlier. You know, like when you're meeting someone, pay attention to what they want to do with you.
Right.
Okay. So, for example, you know, you just meet someone, y'all in the dating phase, everything's going great, y'all having a great time. At some point, you're probably going to be wondering, what's the next step, right? Like, what goes?
Where are we going?
Where are we going, right?
Yeah.
So, it's okay maybe if, you know, some months go by, maybe even a year or two. You get to the point where it's like several years, you know.
You just want some sort of direction whenever you're dating.
The reason I say that because I feel like, let's talk about, before we talk about that last step, that last tip, you know, you want to have some direction. That's what you just said, direction. Yeah. Because at some point, like, you can only get so far on that level, right?
On what level? Like kicking
Just
it?
the dating phase.
Oh, yeah.
That only goes so far. Because there's some things that you're not really 100% ready to fully commit to, being just in the dating phase. But at some point, because what I'm saying is you're going to remain stagnant. Like, the relationship may be doing this, right? It's going up, but then it starts doing that.
Right.
Flatlining. We talked about that before. The relationships that continue to go up, right? So if all y'all do is just remain dating and never eventually get to that next level, I personally feel like you're just going to be stagnant, and you potentially may start resenting each other. Reason being,
If you're not on the
because
same page.
if you're not on the same page, right? But reason being though is because you can't get ahead, because everything is still half and half, or how you know it's 50-50.
Yeah.
You know, we don't like you can't.
We're not building together. We're
can't
doing
build.
everything separately.
It's all separate. You can't really build as a unit like that. So that's just my opinion. I mean, to each his own. You know, some people don't care about how long they date. I mean, again,
Or they don't desire to be married.
Yeah, they don't.
Some people don't.
But just know what you're getting yourself into. Just know that that's just how I feel. It's gonna remain stagnant beyond, like, you can't get ahead. And the longer that goes on, the stagnation, the potential of it failing, in my opinion, increases because you're not growing. You can't grow. You can't grow beyond that point. Am I making sense?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to look forward to.
Yeah.
You're not like reaching new goals.
Right.
You're just staying the same.
Yeah.
I mean, every day is
Because if
like,
you know, if you know enough, you should know enough by that point to make a decision, right? Like, because here's the thing, like, even with us, like, guys, you're gonna be taking some form of risk regardless, but it's all on how you define risk. Like, if you go in it with, okay, this is not an option, this is not an option, that is not an option, you kind of mitigate the risk. and you learn how to deal with whenever conflict does arise. Y'all learn how to work that out amongst yourselves because you have certain things that aren't on discussion that isn't part of the discussion, like in a relationship, for instance. But you know, whenever you're in the beginning phase, or when you're in the phase where y'all dating for 10 years, you know, and if I'm pretty sure at some point one person is gonna want to probably go forward with the next level at some point. That's what I was referring to. They may start resenting them because if one person wants to move forward and the other one doesn't, that's where the conflict may kick off.
Yeah, the resentment.
You get what I'm saying? That's what I was trying to refer to.
Well, and I think that you were starting to hit at, if none of the non-negotiables are in the picture, then why not take it a step further?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. Why, you know,
what do we date for, like 10 months, and then we got engaged.
Well, yeah.
Then 2 months later, we was married. So we didn't know everything
it was literally a
about
year
each
from
other.
the day we met. Yeah, exactly. Right. So we were.
But we knew enough about each other's character where it was like, okay, he doesn't have ill intention for me.
Right.
And then we have some goals for our relationship. Let's go ahead and do it.
But like I mentioned earlier too, we both had past before we met. I was gonna say, man, sometimes your past, guys, actually helps you become a better person. It helps you mature, right? In what you should be knowing, what to look for, what not to look for, what to do and what not to do. You know what I mean? So, I mean, hey, salute to our old relationships, I guess.
Yes,
I don't know.
thank you.
But I'm saying, no, that's real. Like, evaluate your past. Even though if it was bad, you still should learn something from it.
Right.
And become better. Like, learn what not to do. And even forgive your people that you've dated in the past, right? That's important too to move on, I think, sometimes, you know. So, and then, like I say, you know, definitely look forward to not doing what you may have done to some past relationships in that relationship. You learn from it. Yeah. Anything else you want to touch on before we hit the last tip?
No.
All right, guys, last tip is patience. So finding the right spouse may take time, so you're gonna have to be patient. All right, so, okay, outside all them tips, I'm gonna sum it up with this. I personally feel like in order to attract what you're attracted to, you have to be attractive for it. I'm gonna say it again.
Yeah, because they might have went over some people's heads.
In order to attract what you are attracted to, you have to be attractive for it. So
you have to make yourself attractive to that person that you're attracted to.
Right. So if you're a woman, I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna do the men's side, right? So okay, guys, right? So if you're looking for a woman who, you know,
keeps herself together, she's fit, maybe.
Yeah,
she
she's
keeps the
physically
house
fit a
up
certain way. Right.
Goes out and hustles and takes care of herself, carries herself a certain way. You want to also
look in the mirror.
Right.
Do you meet those qualities as well? That's my point, right? You know, if you want somebody who's in shape, what shape are you in? If you want somebody making a certain level of income, what level of income are you in? You can go down a list. All the things that you are attracted to, evaluate yourself in that scenario first. Whatever it is you're looking for, ask yourself,
be that person.
Where am I in that category? Because it don't make sense if you are like, I'm gonna just throw a random scenario out there. Let's use the physical part, right? Let's just use the physical, right?
Okay.
If I don't care about my health, I don't care about the way I look, but I want a woman who is just a dime, Coke bottle, you know, she take care of herself. The chances of me potentially getting that are very slim, simply because I'm not attractive for that. She's not going to be attracted to me. So it's just something to think about. That's just an example, right?
Right.
And
I think that goes back to the first tip of self-improvement, that personal growth aspect.
Yeah, work on yourself. Yeah. A lot of people get in relationships kind of prematurely, I think.
Me too.
Yeah, man. You
like
know,
you
not
don't
quite
have yourself
ready.
together.
Yeah.
So why would you add another person into your chaos? Like, get yourself together first.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, have some, you know,
Some sort of,
stability, you know, some, yeah, like independence going on, but not in a selfish manner, right? You don't
right,
want to be, you know,
an
an
independent
individual.
woman
No,
who
nothing wrong
doesn't
with that.
need a man.
Well, nothing wrong with it. I like independent women.
No, I'm
However, not a
saying
woman who has an issue being independent and has an issue with wanting to
combining.
compromise and combine. Because
Right,
I
that's
feel
what I'm
like
saying.
there's a lot of, in my opinion, I personally feel like some women that are too, man, I'm probably gonna get some hate in the comments on this one, but it
No,
is what it
men too.
is. Or even men, right? So some men that's too independent and not willing to let someone in
And
their
help.
space, but to be a partner, right? You know,
Right.
all they know, and it's not the easiest transition. You
Right.
know, you gotta. I mean, you're taking a lot in consideration where you're wanting to share your assets, but you gotta have the right mindset to accept. I'm wanting and willing to share what I have with you, so we can be one and be a bigger unit. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? To be a unit versus just an individual, because you move. You know how that Neo song go. Before us when we together,
Oh
something
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah, I don't know the song. Y'all know it, man. Yeah.
Good all by myself, but you make me better.
That you make me better, right? So, remember that building a healthy and lasting relationship is based on mutual respect, love, incompatibility, not just attraction. So, all that to say, you know, don't just go for the beauty and the booty. Go for, you know, the intelligence as well.
Right.
You know, how they are, with how they treat others, how they respect themselves, how they respect you. Yeah, man, you know, just good qualities, right, guys? You know, y'all know what it is. Y'all know. You know what I mean? I like the topic, but man, I'm not the best at this. I'm the finance guy. You know what I'm saying? So,
I think you're pretty good.
do okay.
Yeah.
All right, so thankfully this episode is coming to an end.
Let us know what you think
Yeah.
below in the comments.
Yeah, y'all throw some comments, man. If y'all felt like we did all right or we did a terrible job.
Yeah. Or some
If
other
you're in the
things to
market,
consider.
if you're in the market looking for a spouse and we didn't help you at all, let us know. Let us know. Yeah, we'll work on it. You know, we'll maybe help you out for the next video. So we'll figure it out, man. We'll try harder next time, guys. So, but anyways, man. So we appreciate y'all watching this episode. Be on the lookout for next week. We're gonna probably keep this trend going for a little while before we talk about something more related to finances again. You know, we want to eventually get into some real estate investing, some talk about that. But yeah, we're gonna hang out in the marriage category for a little bit, talk some more about, you know, helping people find their spouse, things like that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, guys. So appreciate y'all, man. We'll catch y'all next week. Y'all have a good week.
Peace.